Good morning, children. You might have seen specs at your home. Might be your dada dadi, they use these specs to read the newspaper or to read any book. Lenses, they are used to make specs. So in today's video, we will discuss about the spherical lenses. So let's get started. Spherical lenses. A lens, it is a piece of the transparent glass which is bound by the two surfaces. Two surfaces, that means it is a biconvex or a biconcave lenses. The working of the lens, it is based on the refraction of the light ray when they pass through it. Refraction means whenever the light ray, it passes from one medium to the another one, and both of these those mediums, they are having the different optical densities, then the speed of the light ray will change. That is known as refraction. You might have used magnifying glasses to see the smaller objects. You might have seen jewelers using the lenses to see the small parts of the jewelry. In your school also, you might have used or you might have seen the microscopes. The lenses, they are also used in the telescopes as well. So there are two types of the lenses, the convex lens and the concave lens. The convex lens, they are also called the converging lens, and the concave lenses, on the contrary, they are known as the diverging lenses. If we take one lens in your hand, the convex lens, it will feel thicker in the middle and it will feel thin at the edges. But the concave lens, it will feel thin in the middle and it is thicker at the edges. As this is the diagram of the convex lens. This is the biconvex lens, and all the light rays, after passing through this lens, they all converge at one point. So that's why the convex lens, they are known as the converging lenses. This is the diagram for the concave lens, biconcave lens. And the light rays, after passing through this lens, they will diverge over the larger area. So that's why the concave lenses, they are known as the diverging lenses. There are specific terms we need to discuss before we start with the ray diagrams. So here you can see it's O, optical center. The center of the lens, it is known as the optical center. The line which is passing through the optical center, it is the principal axis. We will place the object on this principal axis. These light rays, 4 light rays are shown here. These light rays, they are parallel to each other and they are parallel to the principal axis also. After passing through this lens, they all converge on the principal axis at one point, and this is known as the focus. This is the focus for the convex lens. After the convex lens, the next one is the concave lens. This is the optical center, the center of the lens, it is the optical center, and the line which is passing through the optical center, it is the principal axis. These are the two light rays which are moving parallel to each other and also parallel to the principal axis. And these light rays, after passing through this concave lens, they diverge over the larger area. If we extend these refracted rays backward, both of these rays, they will meet at one point on the principal axis. This is the virtual focus of the concave lens. So there are certain rules to obtain the ray diagrams. So there are certain rules to obtain the images formed by the convex lenses. So this is the first rule. This is the convex lens, and if any light ray, it is moving parallel to the principal axis, after refraction, this light ray, it will pass through the focus. The second rule is, if any light ray, it is passing, it is moving through the focus, after refraction, it will become parallel to the principal axis. And the third rule is that if any light ray, it is moving, it is passing through the optical center, it will pass, it will move undeviated So when we draw the ray diagrams, we will pick any two of these rules, and wherever the refracted light rays they will meet the image, it will be formed there. Formation of the different type of the images by the convex lens. So far as the convex lens is concerned, there are 6 positions of the objects. If the object it is placed at any of these 6 positions on the principal axis, so the properties of the images it changes. So for the convex lenses there are 6 ray diagrams. Why do we need to draw the 6 ray diagrams? The reason being, for every position, if we change the position, if the object it is at infinity and then the object it moves a little bit with the lens beyond 2f1 and then little bit more closer at 2f1, every time when the position of the object it is changing, the property of the image formed it is also changing. So we will discuss these 6 positions of the objects for the convex lenses. Let's get started with the first ray diagram for the convex lens. The position of the object it is at infinity. Infinity means when the object it is very far away from the lens. So when the object it is very far away from the lens, then we consider that the parallel light rays are coming from the object. So here I have drawn these 2 light rays, and this is the optical center of the convex lens. This is the principal axis. So these light rays they are coming parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, these light rays they will pass through the focus. So when these light rays they pass through the focus, this is the point where these light rays they meet on the principal axis after the refraction. So here the image will be formed. So when the position of the object it is at infinity, the image it will be formed at f2. Size of the image it will be very small. We can call it as we will say that the image it is diminished, very small in size. If we compare the size of the image and the size of the object, then the size of the image it is really very small. Nature of the image formed is real and inverted. Next position of the object, it is beyond 2f1. That means the object it is placed outside of the 2f1. So here I marked it as A and B, the object. This is the lens, optical center. So when the light ray they are coming from this object, this light ray it is moving parallel to the principal axis. After refraction it will pass through the focus, and the other light ray it is passing through the optical center, so it will move undeviated. So this is the point where the light ray they are merging, meeting. So here we will mark it as A dash B dash. So this is the position where the image it is formed. So the position of the image it will be between f2 and 2f2. The image it will be formed on the other side of the lens. The object it is placed here, the image will be formed on the other side of the lens. Size of the image it is small, and the nature of the image is real and inverted. The next position of the object it is at 2f1. By saying that the object is placed at 2f1, we mean that the object it is at a distance equal to twice the focal length. So here the object it is placed at 2f1. So a light ray which is moving parallel to the principal axis, after refraction it will pass through the focus F2, and a second light ray which is passing through this optical center, it will move undeviated, and this is the point where these light rays they meet after refraction. So if we join this point, if I mark it as A, B, so for the image, the arrowhead, it is A dash and this is B dash. So when the object, it is placed at twice the distance of the focal length, then the position of the image, it will be at 2F2, that is on the other side of the lens. The object, it is placed over here. The image, it will be formed on the other side of the lens. Size of the image formed, it will be of the same size. The size of the image and the size of the object, it will be same. And the nature of the image, it is real and inverted. Next position of the object, it is between 2F1 and F1. By this we mean that the distance of the object from the lens, it is greater than the focal length, greater than F1, but it is lesser than twice the focal length. So here the object, it is placed A, B, arrowhead we will mark it as A, and the foot we will mark it as B. So the light ray, first light ray I am drawing here, that is, it will move parallel, it is moving parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it will pass through the focus. And the other one, light ray, it is passing through the optical center. So this is the point where these light rays after refraction, they are meeting. So here we will draw the image. So as it is clearly visible that the position of the image is beyond 2F2 on the other side of the lens, and the size of the image is enlarged. It is very much clear from the ray diagram that the image formed, it is really very big than the object. Nature of the image, it is real and inverted. The next position of the object, it is at F1. Here I have placed the object A, B. That means the object, it is placed at the distance of that is the measurement equal to the focal length. So this light ray which is moving parallel to the principal axis, it will pass through the focus after refraction, and the other light ray which is passing through the optical center will move undeviated. So here parallel light beams we can see. So the position of the object, it is at infinity. The image, it will be formed at infinity. Nature of the image, it is real and inverted. Size of the image, it is highly enlarged. So we can see that as the object, it is moving towards the lens, the size, it is increasing. Next position of the object, it is between F1 and the O. O is the optical center of the lens. That means the object, it is placed very much near to the lens. So here AB, this is the object and it is placed on the principal axis. It is placed between F1 and O. The first light ray which is moving parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, it will pass through the focus. and the second light ray, it is passing through the optical center, so it will move undeviated. If we extend these refracted light rays backward, so here is a point where these light rays, they meet each other. So where these light rays, they meet, the image, it will be formed over here. We mark it as A dash and B dash. So the position of the image, it is on the same side of the lens where object is placed. So the object and the image, both of these, they are on the same side of the lens. Size of the image, it will be highly enlarged, as is visible from the ray diagram, that this is the object and this is the image. So the image, it is really very big. Nature of the image, it is virtual and erect. So we have learnt about spherical lenses and the ray diagram of convex lens. Here are some questions based on the topic we have discussed.